Donnie, y'all started about as well as possible against Tulane, so I know you had to be happy with that, but just the kind of the drop off after that, how frustrating was that too?
Well, that's exactly right. I was very happy with the way we started. The last two games, we've had 5 possessions in the first quarter between the two games. Well, we had 14 seconds left. We got a third possession. I don't count that because we had 14 seconds. And we played really well in those. We scored on 4 of the 5. We missed a field goal, or we scored 5 out of 5. So I think that's one of the things that is why Alex is the guy going out there first right now. Is if you look back, Appalachian, Gardner Webb, it was the second drive. Rice, it was the first drive. He started well. So yeah, we got to practice the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter now, because we are coming out, which tells me we're ready to play. The kids are still into it. Things are good. We're not that far off. Sometimes you can still not win and get the results you want, but not be that far away. So that is pleasing. We had practice. The spirits are good. They're still having fun. All that. Coach is doing a great job with that. We just got to make more plays. There were opportunities. That's the number 23 team in the country, I was told today, I guess by the playoffs or whatever. They're 8-1, and they've lost to Ole Miss, who has lost to Alabama, I guess, who's 8-1 too. So you got to say they're probably pretty good. They were 9th in the country last year, and we were right there with a chance to win the game. At the end of the game, we have the ball with 8 minutes to go in the game, and we're driving, and we can't. Now that it was interference, and the officials said they missed the call on the last play right there, but we dropped the ball on 3rd down. That would have put us down in there really close. Would have been close to field goal range right there. So those are the disappointments, though. Now we haven't done that in the fourth quarter. We've actually had a couple of those games where we had a chance in the fourth quarter and we had the ball with a chance to score. And that's the part that's really, driving you crazy right there. But proud of the kids. We're starting good. We still can get more points. I'd like to get less field goals, more touchdowns.
In that first quarter in particular, the offensive line, they were moving Tulane off the ball.
Yeah.
What kind of changed after that? Or is it a mindset thing, mentality thing? What do you think changed there?
The last 2 weeks, the offensive line has started to play like we had hoped they would. And it's a lot slower than everybody wanted, slower than they wanted it to do. I think it's been a couple of things. I think we have adjusted what we're doing up front a little bit. We're helping them out in some pass protections. We're maybe doing some blocking schemes that fit them a little bit better. I think finally just the chemistry and the continuity of playing the same 5 guys together has started to kick in. And you want that to be quicker, but you want that to be in spring practice and then through summer and preseason camp, and we didn't have that luxury to do that. And so, like I say, there are no excuses. You are what you are. Your record is what you are. It's just taken us longer, but they are starting to play well. Physically, I thought we held up against Tulane, and they are pretty good. I don't know if they're the best. I know they were ranked second in most of the categories defensively because they just play so well and they don't make many mistakes. But they do have good players as well. But yeah.
We heard Coach Houston talk about Raheem Jeter getting reps with the travel team, and now with the red shirt rule being how it is.
Yeah.
Do you think in these last 3 games we could see some Raheem Jeter under center?
Well, I'd love to. I wish we could play more games. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could play the game and then have another little scrimmage afterwards or whatever, so you could develop these guys. You just can't. You're in a 3-point game or a tied game at half. And that's not the place to put him in. I think if we did that, I think the rest of the players would go like, "Are you serious?" And nothing against Raheem. I'm just thinking they're thinking like, "Hey, it's 10-10 out here. We're going against the conference champions. We got a chance to win." At times the quarterbacks look pretty good. So we'd love to do that. We will try to use the rule. I just don't. Raheem's he's handling it. He's handling it. He's ready to go. We are practicing him. We're trying to do all those things. This time of year it gets tougher because everybody's beat up and they're a little tired, and you're trying to take something off of them. You're trying to lessen practice. Today was 17 periods. That's the least we've ever gone on a Wednesday practice since I've been with Coach Houston. I'm saying you probably never got that luxury of doing a 17, but it was because we're trying to keep them fresh. And then I'm like, can we go 10 more minutes of this or something? But the line they don't want to do that. The receivers don't want to run for 10 more minutes because they want to be fresh. So it's one of those things where quarterbacks have to learn by osmosis sometimes. They have to learn watching They have to watch film, and that's the life of a quarterback. The backup quarterback, some people say it's a pretty good life, you know what I'm saying, but it's frustrating because they don't get to play much. We switch quarterbacks probably in and out too much already, you know what I'm saying. I've done that before. That's the third time I've done it. One time it worked. Now we're two didn't work, very good. So, but I'm trying, and that's a great question, Joe. I hope you know that, but I just don't know if we'll be able. I can't promise we'll be able to do that.
I asked Alex, are there any young receivers that might get into the mix here late in the year? And he said a lot of the guys that are playing tight end receiver are newcomers, or you're running a lot of guys in there. So is there anyone we haven't seen that you might want to get on the field these last few games?
I think we are playing all the ones that we will play. Chase, like I say, Chase is a redshirt sophomore, or a redshirt freshman, actually. The two tight ends are true freshmen that are playing right now. Josiah's our older guy. And, he's doing a pretty good job right now. Keelan Robinson is a guy that I think will be a very, very good player. He is very, very talented. We'd love to maybe get him in there a little bit more, would be the other guy. And I think he has 4 years too, so he's very young too.
How do you think the tight ends have done after Shane, losing a big blow there, just trying to fill in for him?
They've done good. I'm telling you, they're way past what I would have thought. If you'd have told me before the season, that's going to be your two tight ends, I would have really not thought that. I thought, well, we're probably going to be in four wides a lot or something like that. Not like Coach Houston would like that very much. So they've done good. It's been a growing up process for them, but they're both tough. They're both from good high school programs, and I don't think they've been intimidated one bit.
What effect have you seen from the team since you had some continuity at quarterback and you starting the same guy? I mean, how has that worked out?
Nobody has said anything, but sometimes you just feel things. I think, and long as I've been in this business, you kind of start to read them. I think they have some confidence in that. Sometimes the coach's job is just to have an answer. You know what I'm saying? You got to just sometimes go in like in anybody's business. You go to the staff meeting, something's going on, you got a crisis. You want the boss to have an idea. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the coach, you just got to say, all right, here's how we're going to get this thing going. And I have felt like they've really made the decision probably more than say me or Coach Houston has. I believe it's the players. I think they're playing better around him right now, and that's nothing against Mason. Mason just had an unbelievably great practice after today. I was just walking off the field, I was going like, dang, okay, that's the Mason I know right there. Just be that guy right there. So someday he'll get his chance again. Everybody knows that it comes back around. You better be ready, or then you don't get another chance. But I think Alex, Alex was the captain for the game. You know what I'm saying? I know you got to interview him a little bit. I've got to talk to Alex. Okay, we got to work on those a little bit. He's not the most exciting interviewer, I guess, right now. I've told him that. Maybe he's gonna be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be a humorous, funny guy to tell a good story. He's got to diagnose you, I guess, a little bit. But it's good for him, and I think a lot of the players are saying, well, if you don't have instant success, like when you go off to college, it didn't just happen for you. Well, here's a great example. Hang in there. Keep working hard. You might get your chance.
Speaking of interviews, talked to Gerald Green for the first time. I was kind of asking, what keeps you going when you're struggling so bad? And part of it is what he said is inside him, and also he don't want to let his teammates down. So how are you kind of seeing that, from a coach's standpoint, the players, everybody?
And you'll think I'm just making this up, but I promise you I'm not. It has been, we block things out. You have to block things out, like when you are not winning, or you just not be able to play the next week. But this team, I've been on teams that we were in it, like 7 wins, and it's by the end of the year you're kind of like, wow, it's getting miserable. You know what I'm saying? And this team is not that way. They like each other. I guess they respect each other. They must treat each other well. Again, Coach Houston's culture is in there. I know we've taken a bad turn right here after we were boom, 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 boom. But like I say, we're not that far off, and the thing is not in that bad a shape. I know we're not scoring enough points. That's the bottom line. Okay, trust me. I wake up every night thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? About how can we score more points? What can we do? But we've been in all those games right there. The team, I'm saying, we had a chance to beat the team that's probably going to win the conference championship right there. And you have to find the positive, and I guess our kids are doing that. You know, this is a good place. I think they enjoy being here. I think they like playing it, you know, for East Carolina. They're treated well. Our administration does a great job here of treating the kid. We travel first class. We do everything as good as we can do it, you know, and I think they appreciate that. I really do. And Coach has not just beat them down, nor has any of the assistant coaches, because that's not what we think they need. If it wasn't, if it's effort, there's some times you get after them when it's effort, but when they're trying hard and they're just maybe didn't catch the ball, you know, you just work on, okay, this is the technique, or maybe, you know, this is what you got to do better. So it's actually been an unbelievable. My wife said up to the other night, like she said, you're in a lot better mood than I thought you'd be in right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of shocked about it too. But it's fun to go to work. It's fun to go, and it'll just make the good year that we're getting ready to have even sweeter. You know what I'm saying?
You've obviously called it up from up at the top in the press box the last few years. Do you, I don't know, miss looking the quarterbacks in the eye, especially in a year like this where maybe you could read Flynn or Mason better when they're trying to kind of learn some things?
This is the year. I think you're dead on that. I've actually fallen kind of into enjoying being up, because you can see things. You can actually use more pieces of paper. You can, you know, take notes, and you can do a lot better job, I think, overall. But I do think that having inexperienced quarterbacks, I wished you could be both places. I'd like to be there and get some things corrected immediately, because when you're on the sideline, the quarterback looks over there after every play, and there's a lot of times you could say something or get the message to them immediately. You don't have to wait to the end of the drive to say, you know, this is what happened. You could tell them right now. And, you know, I think you could just get some things, you know, fixed quicker, better, I guess. So you can't be both. You got to make that decision. And this is what we've kind of gone with, and that's what we'll stay with probably for the rest of this time.